Howdy. So anthropology does actually include social sciences as well. Let me get my glasses on. I don't normally read stuff, but I am acutely aware I am the last thing standing between you and lunch. So I'm here to answer the question that I'm betting keeps you up at night. What do anthropologists do? And it's often easier to start by telling you what we don't do. We do not do dinosaurs. That's paleontology. The earliest human ancestors are separated from dinosaurs by over almost 60 million years. That's not us. We also don't do insects. That's entomology. I don't know why, but I often get inquiries about, I want to study bugs in your department. So not us. So what do anthropologists do? And I'm going to return to my notes here. So at a career level, anthropologists change the way organizations work. We help to get things done, problem solvers. Try and think of a job that doesn't involve working with other people. I can't really think of any. I mean, a 19th century lighthouse keeper comes to mind. But if you think about it, interacting with other humans is something we all do regularly. Now, most of us, we're used to interacting with our family, with our friends, and we know them, and they're very similar to us. And it's very easy to interact with people that are very similar to you. But I was going to say real world, I know it's not, but outside of academia, in the private sector, the people you're going to be dealing with are very often not very much like you. So you need to be able to interact with people that have very different upbringings, very different cultural histories. So the anthropological or cross-cultural perspective is really, really valuable for a great many tasks. Dealing with customers, constituents, clients, partners, et cetera, requires specialized social and cultural knowledge, and that's anthropology. Anthropologists are good at figuring out what problems are, gathering information needed to solve those problems, and planning effective responses. And again, from a cross-cultural perspective, from understanding people that are not a whole lot like you or share a very different background than you do. Data collection and analysis, critical thinking, problem solving. These are all things that anthropology is good at. So we've been told, I remember hearing it, there are different ways of science. So you have the hard sciences, right? The physics, the chemistry, you have the soft sciences, sometimes referred to as humanities. And then you have the really hard sciences like anthropology, like interacting with other people. It is not an easy thing to do. So anthropologists bring a great deal of experience and expertise in those regards. Now, we do have two majors. We have a BA and a BS. We initially had just the BA. We added the BS in 2018, and it rapidly eclipsed our BA to become the most predominant major in our department now. We have an archaeology track, because that's one of the things we do in anthropology is archaeology. That was popular, but once the BS came into existence, it really took over, and we're probably going to sunset that BA archaeology track. So if you're seeing that, don't worry about it. We're going to get rid of it. We have multiple minors. We just established a bunch of new minors. The intent was to better outline the courses of anthropology that could benefit students from outside our department. It had a great effect there, but it had an unexpected or unintended consequence. A lot of our own majors take our own minors, which technically is allowed. We don't encourage it, but it does happen. In terms of career opportunities, so all the career opportunities that you see up here, these are actual outcomes for our students in the past 1 or 2 years. So don't think of this as the entirety of what you can accomplish with an anthropology degree. This is just a smattering of what happened in the last year. I have a Lightcast report. Do you guys know Lightcast reports? It's basically a report of public sector demand for your particular degree and what job titles out there your graduates are qualified for. So I'll give you just a few of these: program manager, program coordinator, program specialist, archaeologist, compliance managers, project archaeologist. There's a whole bunch here: auditing, marketing, social work, finance, data analysis. basically, what can't you do with an anthropology is a really good question to ask, because it is a very versatile degree in the public sector, in the private sector as well. So we have, one of our graduates recently went on to law school, market research, all these different cultural resource management. I'm sensing there's a joke behind the law school that I wasn't here for.
We
I bet
told every major is good for law.
Oh, okay. It's good for law school. Actually, one thing we're actually going to be increasing our capacity for is pre-med. So as you know, there is no university requirement for which major you should take for pre-med. We are growing a medical anthropology program in our department. Whether it becomes a separate degree, I don't know. That's for the future to decide. That medical anthropology program, I think, is going to be crucially important because a doctor, you're going to learn everything you need to know, the biology, the chemistry. You got to take that anyways. What medical anthropology teaches you is not the medical care itself, but how it is delivered effectively. Because if the COVID-19 pandemic taught us nothing, we created a miracle cure for the worst pandemic in a century, and half the country refused to take it. That has nothing to do with the cure itself and everything to do with effective delivery of medical care. And that's where that medical anthropology program, I think, is going to become incredibly important in the coming years. In terms of high impact experiences, we have a number of internships. I've actually got 2 internship coordinators in my department, one dealing with museum studies, which is another aspect of our department that we are growing. For those interested, there are over 1,000 museums registered with the Texas Historical Commission. Over 1,000 in the state of Texas alone. Some of them are kind of tiny little, whatever. They don't really need people, maybe. Others are huge, enormous enterprises. So museum studies is another area of potential growth in our department. And we are expanding those programs. I'm just trying to coordinate a visit to the Los Alamos National Laboratories to expand an internship opportunity there. That's where the nuclear bomb was first developed. We have students who do double majors in anthropology. Biology is a very common double major, as is geology. Honors programs, research opportunities, and some of our research opportunities, we actually hire the undergraduates. They are paid to conduct this research, which is great for students. We have our Anthropology Society. We do archaeological excavations the world over. We bring students with us. So if they just want to have a cool time, they can do that with us. But then they can turn that cool time into a career. And the one last thing I do want to mention, because I know it's almost lunchtime, we just completed a program redesign in our department in collaboration with the Center for Teaching Excellence. And that program redesign has allowed us to remap our entire curriculum so we can scaffold students' educational journey. And then we have also partnered with the Anthropology Career Readiness Network. So that journey then continues into their greater career. So we're trying to make that transition from academic into career as smooth as possible and give our students all the tools that they need to be successful, both here educationally and out in the public and private sector when they go into their careers. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Roeder. Are there any questions about our anthropology majors or programs? Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry.
I bet you already know the answer to this.
I do. Well, it's actually a question and an answer in one. We are incredibly transfer friendly. So even though we built this program redesign, we built that with the concept of change of major, students discovering us as they take core classes, or transfer students coming into the institution, being able to integrate into this curriculum. So while it is scaffolded, we have that point of entry still available to students to come into the department.
Yeah, and we're particularly fond of Blinn students because some of our graduates and former graduates are teaching at Blinn. So they are getting the instruction they need to transfer seamlessly into our department.